Hey, what's up? It's Ollie here. I wanted to make a quick video about where I think you should get started if you're under the six-figure level right now in your coaching business or your consulting business, and you're looking to package up your expertise, your knowledge, your information, and you want sort of the quickest way to exceed six figures and to begin to approach seven-figure territory. Now, a lot of people's advice when it comes to beginning to build a business is to maybe put together some kind of online course, maybe sell it on webinars, or just sell it through emails and launches and stuff like that. And actually, I think that can be a great way to start generating some revenue and start bringing in some business. And it can be really effective way to package up your knowledge and help a lot of people at one time, because you can have tons of people buy the course, and really all that needs to happen is when they pay for the course, you just need to give them their login details. So you could have like 4,000 people buy the course, and it wouldn't give you much more extra work other than answering the odd support ticket or maybe giving a little bit of help inside a Facebook group. So building an online course is definitely one way to go about it. However, what can be tricky, and what I've found tricky in a lot of cases, is that when you're selling an online course from the beginning, right, what you need to be able to do is spend money on advertising, right? So spend money on whether it's Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever it is, right, to attract people into your funnel, maybe to get people on your webinars, maybe whether it's to just build your email list to give out your lead magnet or whatever it is. Right, and you need to spend the money on the ads. So the idea with the online course would be to make more money in sales from that online course than you spend on advertising. Now, in theory, this is really easy to do, right? You spend $500 on advertising and you make $1,000 in sales from your online course, right? And in theory, you just keep scaling like that and scaling like that, and it can be really effective. However, in practice, what can happen is as you're starting to scale and spend more and more on advertising, reach out to colder traffic, right? People who just don't know who you are, have never seen you before, and you're trying to convert them from being completely cold prospects into raving fans and actually customers, right? What can happen is the cost per lead increases, right? The cost per conversion increases. It costs more to get people onto your list, and it gets more and more difficult to actually get them to buy your stuff. All right, so what can happen is, in the beginning you might be able to spend $500 on traffic and turn it into $1,000 in sales, but when you're spending 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month on traffic, which can happen pretty quickly as you begin to scale, it can be difficult to get a profit from the sales of your online course off the back of that ad spend, especially to do that relatively quickly. Right, so instead of selling online courses, what I'd recommend, if you really want to scale quickly, one of the things you're going to have to deal with is cash flow. Right, you're going to have money in the bank, and this is for ad spend. This is for building a team and hiring staff. At some point, you're going to need a support person. At some point, you're going to need some salespeople. At some point, you're going to need maybe coaches or other people to help you actually deliver the program. And so, for all of that stuff, plus all the software and the expenses and all, everything else, to pay yourself as well, right? You're going to need money in the bank. So a much better way to approach this from day one is to actually start off by selling very high ticket programs, right? This can be a very quick way to get a really high return on advertising spend, right? So spend $500 on ads, maybe you could get like a $10,000 client with that ad spend, right? Then all you need is one sale, and you've got back your ad spend. That's 20 times return on the ad spend, right? As opposed to just one sale, which would be of an online course, which would be just doubling your ad spend, right? You can see that there's a massive difference there, right? And so if you actually start selling high ticket stuff, maybe a one-to-one coaching program or maybe a group coaching program, everything is just easier. Now, there's a few things that people get freaked out about when they think about selling high ticket stuff, right? And one of those things is that isn't it really difficult to make a sale of $10,000 or £10,000 or euros or whatever, right? Isn't it hard to convince somebody to actually pay that amount of money? Don't you have to do more work? Well, the answer is, in my experience, it's been just as easy to sell somebody a £10,000 program as it is a £1,000 program or a £500 program. Really, like, as long as the level of service is increased, the value that they're getting is, you know, exponentially higher, right? So they're getting access to you, they're getting much more hands-on support, then really, as long as you have a decent sales process and you understand the methods in which to sell high ticket programs, then the sales process really isn't that difficult. Now, you're going to have to close them over the phone, right? That is one thing that you will have to do. You probably won't just be able to give them an order form and be like, you know, buy my 10 grand program, because people usually want to bond with you, and actually, you know, the sales process is different to just selling an online course. And there's a few things you'll have to restructure in order to switch from selling online courses to high ticket, or just to start a high ticket business from day one, right? The approaches are slightly different. But if you get all that stuff into place, what you'll realize is you can start racking up high ticket clients very quickly. Imagine if you just had 2 of those a month. That's already 20 grand a month business, right? Imagine if you had 5, right? It's much easier to get 5 high ticket sales than it would be to get, say, 100 sales of your £500 course, which would basically leave you with the same amount of revenue. So these are a few things to think about when you're starting to package up your expertise and get moving in order to scale your business super quickly and actually see some crazy, you know, life-changing results. Focusing on the high ticket is definitely the best way to scale, and I've known this for a few years of experience now of trying to scale like an online course versus scaling high ticket, and high ticket just gets you that revenue so much faster and it makes everything so much easier. So check out the links in the description if you want some resources to actually help you put this stuff into practice, and leave a comment if you're thinking about doing some high ticket stuff and that's you know, direction you'd like to go in. I'd love to hear your story, anything any questions you have about putting that stuff into practice and how to sell high ticket programs. And yeah, see you in the next video.